Okay. Let's see here. Okay, November 1991. Okay. Hey everybody, back here again with some look at some more Nintendo powers. This time we're looking at issue number 30 for I think it's January 1991. Let me make sure. No, November 1991. So here you can see Final Fantasy II on the cover, which is actually Final Fantasy Four. And it's supposed to be a chocobo, and I guess that's Cecil from Final Fantasy Four. And there's Baron Castle, I guess, and the Mist Dragon from the Village of Mist, where Gradius from, I guess. Here you see Volume 30, Final Fantasy II Might, Mystery, and Magic, plus Game Boy Battletoads, NES Flintstones. There's a different subscription ad here. It looks Christmas themed. You see the magazines flying out of the mailbox here. You got some Yuletide decorations across the post of the mailbox. Give the gift of stopless power. Yo-ho-ho power gift to and from. You now are a 1-year subscription to Nintendo Power. So you could give this to a friend and give them a 1-year subscription. You'd sign them up and then you'd give them this card, I guess. Stopless power. See the Star Tropics issue flying off. So Powerline. This month is in the Super NES Showcase, we take a look at 3 of the newest 16-bit titles, including Super Tennis, UN Squadron, and Super Baseball Simulator 1000. Sports games take on a whole new realistic feeling on the Super NES. The tennis game puts you right on the center court, sometimes struggling with your backhand. And Super Baseball Simulator 1000 gives you the ability to do just about everything but put the tar on your hat. The NES version of Final Fantasy has been in Nintendo Power's top 10 for over a year, and fans have been clamoring for a sequel. Wait no longer, fantasizers. Final Fantasy II is here on the Super NES. Imagine enemies rendered in gorgeous 16-bit graphics and sound that is nothing short of superb. Our review of Final Fantasy II will give you a taste of this fantastic adventure. Also this month, we scope out the antics of the official modern Stone Age family. When we first saw early versions of the Flintstones for the NES, we knew it was going to be really cool. Dino and Hoppy have been dinosaur-napped by aliens from the future, but never fear, Fred and Barney are here. All they have to do is find the parts for a time machine that they can use to go after those pesky aliens. Another animated classic, Tom and Jerry, is also coming to the NES. They've been hassling each other for decades now, and now Tom has trapped Jerry's nephew, Tuffy, in the attic. This month's review includes a map that will come in handy. So here's the table of contents. This is volume 30 for November 1991. See Final Fantasy II, the Flintstones, Where in Time is Carmen San Diego, Ultimate Air Combat, which I never heard of, UN Squadron, Kid Icarus, the long-awaited sequel, is bigger and better than the NES Classic. That's a good game for Game Boy. Kid Icarus of Myths and Monsters. So you're seeing really good Game Boy games here. Battletoads, Kid Icarus, more beefy games. They had Final Fantasy Adventure last month, which is a big, very good game for Game Boy. Double Dragon 2, which I think is different than the Double Dragon 2 NES game, if I recall. Hasta la vista, baby. I think a great game Link match would be... Okay, so this month's letters from Game Link Dreamers. Readers came up with some interesting pairings in response to our request for Dream Game Link matches. So these are games that you'd have to link with somebody to play. I think the great Game Link match would be Arnold Schwarzenegger and me playing Fortified Zone. Arnold would probably like the shoot 'em up because of his action roles in the Predator and the Terminator films. I would let him win, though, because if he lost, he would probably crush the Game Boy in one hand and my face in the other. He'd be like, "Arr, arr, arr, Game Boy!" That's Corey Barak, Neffs, Ohio. A natural link. I would like to game link with Link. We could fight together and destroy everything that we could shake a sword at. And we would take shifts to beat the dark nuts. When we saved Princess Zelda, we would celebrate our victory with Pepsi and chips. Then we would split up the jewels. Michael Sanders, Prestonburg, Kentucky. Can he really cruise? If I could game link with a celebrity, it would be Tom Cruise. He's a great actor, but I wonder how good he really is at playing Days of Thunder. Brandon Lee, Battlesville, Arkansas. Give him some airtime. My Game Boy Dream Link would be to play one-on-one with Michael Jordan in LJN's NBA All-Star Challenge. It's right after the last game of the NBA Final Four. Jordan is in the locker room playing NBA Challenge to relax, and I walk in and ask him if to autograph my copy of the game. He says sure. Then we play for 4 quarters of Super Game Boy action. When it is all over, Michael says, "Next time, Aaron, I'm going to win." Aaron Reitmeyer, Crookston, Minnesota. Soviet Link. My dream game link, would be to play Tetris against Soviet President Mikhail Gorbachev. I think it would be fun to study his strategy and maybe even beat him. Adam Gardner, Denver, Colorado. Bumper Cars with Bill. I read your request for Game Boy Dream Links in the last issue and decided to send mine. My dream is taking the NASCAR Challenge with Bill Elliott. The man says, "Start your engines." The engines roar. We take a few warm-up laps. Then the race begins. I race nose and nose with Elliott for 99 of the 103 laps in the race. Then he crashes into me. I make an outstanding recovery. Everyone starts to scream, and I actually win. Alan Fowler, Utica, New York. Bo knows how to. In my Game Link fantasy, I dream about pitching to Bo Jackson in Bo Jackson's hit and run. It's the bottom of the 9th. There are 2 outs, and the count is 3-2. My team is leading when Bo steps up to the plate. The bases are loaded. Here's the pitch. Bo swings and misses. My pitch wins the game. Randy Vina, Elizabeth, New Jersey. Hey, Richard, how you doing, bud? Cool story. Yeah, these are people with Dream Game Link. What celebrities they'd like to play a Game Boy Link game with. So nothing too great this month in letters. Not like the earlier Nintendo Powers with the kids bragging about what they could be. How's it going, Richard? Good to see ya. The Flintstones, Rescue of Dino and Hoppy. Yabba Dabba Doo, the Crazy Caveman, antics of Fred and Flintstone and his modern Stone Age family are on their way to the NES with the same comic that made the Flintstones cartoon a TV classic. Fred runs with a fast and funny hurry of feet, smashing zany creatures by swinging his big stone club, and climbs the cliffs of the Bedrock with kooky cartoon flair. There's a map of Bedrock. Fred's fancy footwork. You can jump, fly, dive, master your tools, hanging in there, hanging on the ledges, run, slide, and stop. I've never played this game. Preparing for your presentation. Well, good luck. Good luck. I hope it goes fantastic for you tomorrow. I'm sure you tweaked everything. Did your professor ever get back to you with a review of it? For what to tweak? Or did you said you went on your own? I'm doing okay, though. Can't complain. Here's the levels. Bedrock, Reef Rock, Icy City. This game looks okay. I've never played it. Jungle Cave. Under the Sea. T-Rock. Wow, they really went all out for Flintstone coverage. Howard and Nestor. Or no longer Howard and Nestor, because Howard Phillips left, so it's just Nestor's adventure now. Classified information. Fill up on 1-ups. So there's this area in the underwater level where there's this skeleton. I forget what the skeleton Koopa Troopers are called, but you can swim and stomp him, and he'll come back to life as long as you don't touch the ground. You'll keep getting 1-ups. Extra gain bonus. Extra gate bonus, sorry. If you carry a P-switch or a shell through an exit gate, it will turn into one of 4 different power-ups. So they tell you if you're empty, Small Murray empty, Super Mushroom, Super Mushroom 1-up. Wait a minute, if you carry a P-switch. Okay. And that must be in what you're carrying in the bank on top of the screen. That's interesting. Magic darts, tricky tosses. Rockin' Cats, that's a fun game. None of your advisors helped you out? That stinks. I'm sure you'll do fine. You did fine last time on yours. That was in May, right? March or April, May, something around there. No wonder my friends told me it was his loneliest period in life. I definitely feel that, especially with COVID. Oh, your friend at this point is his loneliest moment? Yeah, I mean, COVID's been weird for me. Like, I haven't had to go to work. I've worked from home, so that's nice. But I've been my mental health has not been the best during this time. That's for sure. Final Fight, Extra Fighters. Gradius 3, Konami Code Revisited. Here we go, Final Fantasy 2. Got the world map here. Baron, Mist Cave, Village of Mist, Capo, Waterfall Pass, Mount Hobbs, Mount Ordeals, where you become a paladin. Eblin Castle, where Rubicon and Edge are. The King's Pawn, Dark Knight Cecil. Now look at these artworks. These are original artworks from the Nintendo Power people. So it's interesting to see how they interpret Cecil here. Dragoon Kane. Of course, you take the patch. The King of Baron tells you, take this package to the Mist Village. You take it there, and it unleashes a bomb which destroys the village. And there's a little girl, Rydia, who tags along with you after you killed her parents. There's the caller, Rydia. They make her look like an old lady. Talking about real-time battles that always progress while you're waiting. So you have to make decisions fast. Prince Edward the Bard. A lot of people don't like Edward. He's only with you a little bit. Tella is mad at Edward. Bard and the Beast. The Crystals of Fable. Rosa. There's Yang. Has a great kick move. His friend said his PhD was the loneliest period, and that's what I feel. Oh, I'm sorry. Hopefully this helps you out with that. I mean, this helps me out, that's for sure, with my mental health. So hopefully you get over, you can feel a little less lonely while you're here. Ken reminds me of Legacy of Kain, Soul Reaver, my favorite. That's your favorite? You were mentioning Legacy of Kain, Soul Reaver. I've never played those, and you recommended them. I know there's one for Dreamcast, the original one on PlayStation. So Edward is kind of, I can't remember. I think he can hide, I think, is one of his skills. I can't remember. It's been a while since I played Final Fantasy IV. I don't quite know if he's a coward. I think he does do something brave in the game, so I don't want to say he's a coward. But you only play him for a brief period. I know Tella's mad at him for, I think his daughter ran away with him or something. The Crystal of Fable. Call magic or summons, they call call magic. Red Wings Return. Quest of the Paladin and Mount Ordeals, Palom and Porum. The two twin magicians who turned to stone to save you from being crushed by that room. You gotta beat Mylon to become a Mylon in Mount Ordeals, I believe. Then you have to fight yourself by not fighting yourself. Master Sid. Interesting to see Master Sid, how they draw him. Tower of Torian. I don't remember that tower. Chocobos in the Land of the Dwarfs. Do remember that. There's Edge. I always liked Edge. Although you get him really, really late. You can throw all your items. He's avenging his family against Rubicon. Conte. So they kick you up pretty far, and then they go up to the moon, which is the last part of the game. Oh, thank you. Well, I didn't want to say something incorrectly, because I haven't played Final Fantasy II in a long time. I remember Tello was mad at Edgar. I didn't want to say he was a coward, because I think he does do something brave. He has a harp. I remember he can sing and stuff. It's like a bard class. Brachioid. I don't remember him. I only played the Super Nintendo. I don't think he's in the Super Nintendo version. He might be an extra boss in the Game Boy or re-release versions. Counselor's Corner, Super Mario World. How do I get across Butter Bridge? So this is the stage where I killed multiple Yoshis trying to get the second exit, I think. No, that's the one with the saws, I think. How do I get through Soda Lake? Soda Lake's one of the more difficult stages, I find, for me, with all the bullet bills. I still die on here with how they come out. Torpedo Teds, sorry, not bullet bills. Torpedo Teds, I think they're called. Battletoads, how can a toad leap and live in the turbo tunnel? This is very good advice. Oh, in the loot, there's an extra dungeon in a re-release of it. See, I never played that. I think I played just the SNES one and partway through the game, the DS one, I think. So here's our game counselor profiles. Jeff Sakamoto, John Whistler. We'll start with Jeff here. So Jeff, hobbies volleyball. Doesn't list video games, just volleyball. Highest score, 19th level of Tetris. Favorite game, Tetris. So Jeff likes to play volleyball and Tetris, it looks like. Michael Vesch. Golf, music, and video games are his hobbies. Best accomplishment, finished Castlevania with no continues. Favorite NES game, Wizardry. John Whistler. Hobbies, theater, snowboarding, driving. Best accomplishment, finished counselor. First counselor to finish Populous. Favorite NES game, The Simpsons. Wow. Robert Johnson. We've seen him before. Water skiing, Advanced Dungeons and Dragons. Snakes are his hobbies. Just snakes. Finished Solstice in 15 minutes. That's his best accomplishment. Favorite NES game, Wizardry. So two guys really like Wizardry. And Richard, you're not a fan of golf? I like mini golf. I do have, for GameCube, I have Toadstool's Tour. It's a golf game I'd like to try. The Legend of Zelda, how do I defeat Ganon? Metal Gear, how do I destroy the supercomputer? I never played Metal Gear on NES. Destiny and Emperor, how do I defeat Mai? The Simpsons, Bart vs. Space Beans, how does Bart get past the statues and the pits? Of course, they're telling you how to take a picture to send it in, because there was no digital cameras. You had to take like a Polaroid or actually get it developed. You like snakes too? So that, who likes snakes? That was Robert Johnson, this guy right here. He likes snakes. Where in Time is Carmen Sandiego for the NES. Ultimate Air Combat. I've never even heard of this game. Presidential Decree. There's the White House and 8-Bit Glory. There's your jets, F-18 Hornet, AV-8 Harrier, F-14 Tomcat. Ultimate Air Combat from Activision is the for the NES gives you the chance to fly tactical missions with surprisingly amount of reality on the way. On the way to the target, you'll engage enemy fighters in a fierce dogfight. There's your different missiles they can hold. So I never heard of this game. The only air combat game I played like this on NES is Top Gun. Low key, did I sound like I despise Carmen Sandiego? I just don't know anything about it. I watched the cartoon growing up, but I never played the game. So, do you have anything to add for Carmen Sandiego? I don't hate it or love it. I just don't really have an opinion on it. I haven't played it. That's why I kind of skipped past it. We can look about it more if you want. Oh, it comes with the desk encyclopedia. I do have this game with the encyclopedia and everything. I just never played it. Came with an actual encyclopedia. Yeah, I never played the game. I remember the song from the live-action show. Very catchy. Tom and Jerry? And Tuffy. So I have this game. It looks very good. It's just hard to tell where you're stepping. The platforming is the levels are really maze-like. Like, look at this first level. It's hard to tell what you can jump on. Really weird. But we have a map for Tom and Jerry here on the back. I'm stuck here. The page is stuck together with something. I don't want to rip it, so I'll leave it alone. And then you have Baseball 2000. Game Boy special feature, Baseball 2000, Kid Icarus of Myth and Monsters. That's a fun game. Double Dragon 2, which I don't think is an NES port. It's actually like a different Double Dragon game. And Word High, I don't know what that is. Battletoads as well. I think that's the NES port, or is that a separate Game Boy adventure? Great artwork. Oh, this? Yeah, that's really good. So you see, they even tell you what memory mapper chip they use, MM3. Battletoads, the Dark Queen hatches a new scheme. So this looks like its own, it's not the NES port, it's actually its own game. Because Stage 2 in the NES version, you're descending down the pit on these webs, on these lines. In this one, you're shooting in like a shoot-'em-up stage. Kid Icarus of Myths and Monsters. Pretty much like the NES version, only if you fall down a shaft, like the screen, you won't die. He has a little float ability now. If you hold the button, he'll float a little bit. There's an extra level near the end. There's a few extra levels that are different. The control's a little better. I think it's a little easier. Maybe a few enemies. It's a fun game. I think Nintendo has farmed it out to another developer to do it. Here's the Eggplant Wizard. Kid Icarus on NES I really like it. It has like platforming stages, shoot 'em up stages, Zelda-like dungeons, great music, good challenge. I never played Kid Icarus, but I always wanted to. Yeah, the 3DS's one is good. I only played it once though. It's a Star Fox on the rail shooter. You play as Pit on ground missions where he runs around and shoots stuff, and air missions that are a lot like Star Fox. You can set your difficulty at the beginning from 1 to 9. 9 being the hardest, you get more rewards if you beat it on 9, the higher you go. So you can kind of tailor the difficulty towards how you want to play. There's a lot of the story is told during the stage. Palatini is always talking to you about the story. So they're always constantly talking during the game. The music's really good. The graphics look amazing. It was an early 3DS game around 2012, I think. No, I only played at 5. I don't... There's no incentive for me to beat it at 9. Like, I was just playing for the story. I just beat it at, like, around 4 or 5, I think I set it to. The only reason to do that, I think you get better rewards if you do that, because there's lots of weapons you have, I think, you can win that help you out. Faceball 2000, like a first-person Link game where you could play it as 2 smiling faces. I've never played this. It's like a maze, like a first-person shooter game. It's really cheap though. I see it all the time loose. But I think you could link up with 2 people. 2 or more, maybe. So they have a contest, a Faceball 2000 Have a Nice Day contest. Double Dragon 2 for the Game Boy. 3 skills, easy, normal, and hard. Easy is a practice game that will stop after the first city. Normal and hard speak for themselves. 2 players, this is a 2-player game. Have you ever been playing a game that you're really into, then your friends come over and start bugging you because they want to play? The design of Double Dragon 2 must have had this situation in mind. In the middle of the game, you can press the select button, then hook up another Game Boy and continue the game as a 2-player game. That's pretty cool. Oh, Emoji the game? You're like a smiling face, basically. And you go around shooting each other. It's like a first-person shooter in a maze. Word High? I have no idea what this is. Must make 3-letter words using the letters on the ends of the... Okay, so my mom plays some stuff like this, like games on her phone. You get like letters, and you have to make words out of them. Not my type of game. The Hunt for Red October, Classified Secrets or Information Codes, Operation C. Now playing, excuse me, for Game Boy, Atomic Punk, Battletoads, Double Dragon 2, Elevator Action, Faceball 2000, Home Alone, Kid Icarus, and Word High. Looks like Kid Icarus is the top one here. It has a battery backup. They call them game type. They call it Mythical Adventure. Last year's most popular movie and this season's hottest home video is on the way to Game Boy. Home Alone from THQ loosely follows the plot of the movie, which puts you in the shoes of the resourceful kid Kevin McAllister and gives you the challenge of saving your family's valuables from the group of burglars who are loose in the house. Coming soon to Game Boy, we have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2 Back from the Sewers, Terminator 2, which is your favorite Terminator movie. I've seen Home Alone, I think once or twice, maybe. It was okay. I liked it. Ninja Gaiden Shadow. This was, if you met last month, they were talking about Shadow of the Ninja. They actually, I think Tecmo bought that from Namco, swapped it with Ryu and made it a Ninja Gaiden game and called it Ninja Gaiden Shadow. Hudson Hawk. Game Boy Top 10, still Super Mario Land. Terminator 2, Fall of the Full Clan, Dr. Mario instead of, is now on number 3. Final Fantasy Legend, F1 Race, WWF Superstars, Castlevania The Adventure, Batman, Alleyway, and Baseball round out the top 10. Yeah, Trump is in Home Alone 2. I believe. Like, Kevin's running through the balcony and he asked Trump something. I forget. Here we have Super Tennis. So more SNES stuff. The next generation of gaming, ... This month's lineup, Super Tennis, Union Squadron, and Super Bases Loaded. I've heard this is a good tennis game. Play singles, doubles, and a circuit. You have clay court, lawn court, and hard court. Here's the characters you can play as. UN Squadron, a shoot 'em up I never really played much of. Have different characters. I think you can buy upgrades for your ship by money. One of Capcom's first of 4 Super Nintendo games. There was Final Fight, UN Squadron, Super Ghouls and Ghosts, and one other one is it's slipping my mind right now. Baseball Simulator 1000, if you like baseball. That's, I think, the first baseball game out for the SNES, along with Super Bases Loaded. EA Sports Official Sports Jacket. EA Sports Network, they called it, I guess. UN Squadron. Like, they have no budget, no mission, no power-up, and no purpose. Oof. Shots fired at the UN. So you see here, I actually filled this out. I cut this out for something, because this is cut out. I don't know what I sent in for, but... Now, playing Space Shuttle Project. I do have this game. I don't know how to play it. You got to launch a space shuttle from beginning to end, I guess. Snow Brothers, Toki. I do have this, and I beat this last year. It's okay, like a 5. It's definition of an okay game. You play as a guy who's turned into an ape, and his girlfriend's kidnapped, and you spit stuff out of your mouth. Darius Twin, Ultraman. So here we go for NES. The Bard's Tale, Die Hard, Flintstones, Gun-Knack, Sesame Street Countdown, Snow Brothers, Space Shuttle Project, Toki, Tom and Jerry, Trog, Ultimate Air Combat, and Where in Time is Carmen Sandiego. It's hard to tell which one. These are not stunning games. Or games I'm familiar with too much. I'm trying to see which one would be the winner here out of the ratings looking down, and they're tough to tell. I think Gun-Knack is winning here. So I think out of here, the best reviewed one is Gun-Knack, which is, I think, a shooter. And let's see, it's Nexoff. So I think they make a lot of shooters. Super Nintendo, The Chess Master, Darius Twin, Draken, Final Fantasy II, Hal's Hole-in-One Golf, Hyperzone, Super Baseball Simulator 1000, Super Ghouls and Ghosts, Super Tennis, UN Squadron, and Ultraman. The winner here looks like Final Fantasy II, followed by Super Ghouls and Ghosts, UN Squadron are the top 3 there. NES Achievers, some people finished Battletoads. These kids are great, or whoever finished them. Dr. Mario scores, Deja Vu finished, Pinball. Somebody's still submitting Pinball scores, early black box NES game. Nork, Monopoly NES, scores for there. Magician, Low G-Man, The Immortal finished. Hudson's Adventure Island 2 finished. G.I. Joe finished, 2 people. Pinball Quest, high scores. Power Blade, lots of kids finished Power Blade. Punisher, The Rocketeer, Shadow of the Ninja, 2 people finished. Silver Surfer, 1 person got 9,999,600 points in Silver Surfer. That was Sam Schwapero from Waterford, Connecticut. The Simpsons, Bart versus the Space Mutants, a whole bunch of people finished it. Snake Rattle and Roll, high scores of 465,000 and 202,000. My score was around 695,000 in this game, I think. So I would have been high enough to be in here. Star Tropics, a whole bunch of kids finished. The Uninvited finished. Tetris, high scores. Used to think Ultraman was a Mega Man copy as a kid. I could see that. Ultraman, Mega Man, and he kind of has a helmet. I could see that. Yeah, that score on Silver Surfer, 9 million, that's a lot. In any game, 9 million points is a lot. Here we go, top 30. So blue means it's been here for an eternity, 10 times or more. Green, games that have appeared between 2 and 9 times. And red are newcomers. So you want to look out for red, mostly are the new ones. And green are kinds of ones that are up there, but not, they're fairly new, but they've been not as new as the purple ones, but they're new enough, they've been on for a while still. So number 1, Super Mario Bros. 3, 25 months. Of course, that's going to be number 1. Final Fantasy for NES, 15 months, number 2. Battletoads, number 3. It's been on for 3 months. It moved all the way up to number 3. That's a huge leap for it. I think it was over in like the bottom 10, bottom of the top 10, or over even in the top next 10 to top 15 to 20 or something like that. So it really jumped up in a month. TMNT, the arcade game, is moving on up. 10 months, number 4. The Simpsons, Bart vs. the Space Mutants, number 5. That's 7 months. Crystalis, 11 months, and this moved up too. It's up to number 6. It's probably around the highest it will get. It was never really in. I don't think it ever made the top 3 that I've ever remember seeing on these ones we looked at. Maybe in the future though. We'll keep an eye. I'm trying to remember so in the next issue we can see what moved up. Dragon Warrior 2, Erdrick's Mythical Domain of Alphagard, Mysterious Mythical Domain Alphagard mystifies explorers for yet another month. 11 months, number 7. Dragon Warrior 2 hanging in there. Mega Man 3, 10 months, number 8. Tetris hanging around where it's always is, around bottom of the top 10, but still hanging in for 21 months. Legend of Zelda still in the top 10 for 38 months. Last month, I think it was out of the top 10. It busts back in there for its 38th month on the chart. Still can't conceive Tetris being there. Yeah, I'm not a big Tetris fan either, but lots of people love Tetris. They love it. Star Tropics, good to see it at number 11. Super Mario Bros. 2, hanging on. Number 12. Bases Loaded 2. Destiny of an Emperor, Dr. Mario, Dragon Warrior still on the top 20. Mega Man 2 still up there in the top 20. Wizardry, Double Dragon 3. And the last of the top 20, rounding out the top 20, is Little Nemo, the Dream Master. It's been on here for 9 months. Between 2 and 9 times is the green. Zelda 2. Oh, jeez, Richard. I knew I'd look over and you'd say Zelda 2. Poop, and then somebody's getting mad, and then they get, I guess, tired, like bored. It's funny, like the timing. I just go down to Zelda 2 and I look up and there's a emoji. Nice, Richard. Zelda 2 just missed the top 20 at 21. Castlevania 3 Dracula's Curse, number 22. New this month, Little Mermaid, number 23, busting in top 30. Double Dragon 2, Ultimate Quest of the Avatar, Monopoly, Batman still hanging around where it normally is in the bottom 30 of the top 30. Maniac Mansion, Solstice, and Bill and Ted's Excellent Video Game Adventure is the last. A new title appearing for the first time. Little Mermaid and Bill and Ted are the two new ones here. Celebrity profile Robert Englund. I've never seen the Nightmare on Elm Street movies, so I don't really know him too well. I know he was played Freddy, but Freddy's favorite horror films: The Innocents, Sisters, Rosemary's Baby, White of the Eye, and The Hitcher. Freddy's Dead: The Final Nightmare is currently ripping up movie screens nationwide. We tracked down the film star Robert Englund, aka Freddy Krueger, an avid Nintendo game fan, to talk him about his film and the last movie appearance of his dream-stalking character. Well, I don't think it was the last. I think he had more. Good. Try to keep you as entertained as you keep me. I know. Anytime there's anything Zelda 2, I just feel your rage or your insult towards it. Like, I can just look up. I know you're gonna say something. The Empire Strikes Back, Overlord, Wizards and Warriors 3. These are new games to watch. Lemmings for Super Nintendo, True Golf Classics. These are Super Nintendo games. Bucky O'Hare, Konami's whimsical space-faring bunny Bucky O'Hare is out to save his buddies who were captured by the ruthless extragalactic toads and hidden on 4 planets. The NES graphics are bold and colorful, and the action is very fast. Jumping and shooting are the keys to success. The early version has a stage select and passwords to keep you hopping along. Very fun game. Super Sports from EA. We don't have to talk about that. Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. This was one of the first movies I remember seeing as a kid. I think on a VHS. My parents rented it. I remember the song, not much else. One of the great movies is coming to NES and Game Boy. Attack of the Killer Tomatoes from THQ. Rumor wrap-up. What's the biggest news for 1992? That's a tough question with so much going on. But here are a few titles that we've heard about. The Hook from Sony, based on the Steven Spielberg movie. That's an okay game, starring Robert Williams. Dustin Hoffman and Julia Louis-Dreyfus. Mega Man 4 from Capcom, starring the one and only Mega Man. And Lagoon from Kenpo Sega, a Super NES adventure from the company that produced Shadowgate, Deja Vu, and Drakon. These are just a few of the highlights. I always wanted to play Dragoon. You see here, new titles for NES. Attack of the Killer Tomatoes, Avengers, Barbie, Bioforce 8, never came out. Bucky O'Hare, Contra Force, Cyberball, Empire Strikes Back, Flintstones, G.I. Joe 2 or G.I. Joe The Atlantis Factor, Hammer and Harry, Mega Man 4, Might and Magic, these are coming soon. Nightshade, Overlord, Rocky, I don't think Rocky ever came out. Secret Ties, never heard of it. Space Shuttle Project, Terminator 2 Judgment Day, The Addams Family, Tiny Toons Adventures, Tmnt, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3, Toki, Toxic Crusader, Euphoria, Ultimate Air Combat, Uncharted Waters, and Wizards and Warriors 3. I think a good name for my channel is Nintendo Pro. It's nice, but I'm not really a pro, but I do appreciate the compliment, though. I would say I'm more persistent at games. I will knock my head against them until I beat them. Some games, I should say. If they have unlimited continues, I usually will. Hey, Ninja. Good morning, or good evening, or afternoon. Be evening, I guess. Mega Man 4, a really good NES game. Glad to see it getting coverage before all the folks go see it. Yeah, I like Mega Man 4, too. I do. It's a good game. First introduction of the Super Buster. Coming soon, Castlevania 4. So about this time, I would have gotten my SNES. I'd be playing Super Mario World, SimCity, or F-Zero. I forget which ones I got. I know I had So I might have only had Super Mario World to start. I know this Christmas I got Castlevania. Okay, so I got Castlevania 4, F-Zero, and Sim City. And then later I got ActRaiser. And so that was the first games I really got for the Super Nintendo. So we have Castlevania 4, that's coming out. Joe and Mac, Caveman Ninja, Final Fantasy 2, Final Fight, John Madden's Football, Lemmings, Nolan Ryan's Baseball, PGA Tour, Populous, RPM Racing, Super Battle Tank, Super Play Action Football, True Golf Classics, Walleye, and True Golf Classics Walleye. I guess that's part of the title of the golf game. Wanders from Ease. How's it going today, Ninja? Hope you're doing good. Next month, Richard, Ninja, we got Metroid 2 Return of Samus, the long-awaited sequel. The longest-awaited sequel ever is about to arrive. Space adventure Samus Aran rockets to the home planet of the evil, blob-like Metroids and discovers that they're more sophisticated than originally thought. Tiny Toon Adventures, Batman Return the Joker. This game's pretty fun, too. I like this game. While the Joker did take a dive off Gotham's Cathedral in Sonsal's last Batman adventure, he's back again to battle bigger, badder Batman, and this time he's not going to let the Joker off the hook easily. And they have ActRaiser. Finally, some Metroid 2. Yep, next month. It's a cover story, if I recall. ActRaiser, we gave you a glimpse of this Super NES adventure a few issues ago, and now we're coming back with a full-blown review. Get ready for great graphics and heart-stopping action, along with more strategy-oriented play. So George Sinfield, he was responsible for writing, I think, a lot of the scripts for some SNES games. He wrote some scripts for SNES games. Maybe Secret of Evermore. I think he did a script for it, and other games. These people need to learn that not all sequels to astonishing games need to be utter crap. Well, wait, I mean, if you're talking about, is that another shot at Zelda 2? Because I don't think, Zelda 2 is different. I like Zelda 2. A lot of people don't. I would say Castlevania 2, Zelda 2 are different. Wouldn't say they're crap. I mean, so, your opinion is they are, but I don't think they're too crappy. Metroid 2, I don't think is crappy. If you're referring to finally a sequel on the NES and Game Boy is not crappy, then yeah, I don't think Metroid 2 is crappy. Like, if that's what you're insinuating that it's not crappy, I agree. So that's it. That's issue number 30, and that is November 1991. Metroid 2 taught those kids sequels to astonishing games can be good. Yeah, I bet you a lot of kids never even played. Some kids never even played the first Metroid before they started Metroid 2. Because I think I did beat Metroid 2 before I beat the first Metroid. I can't remember which one I beat first. Okay, we'll do one more here. I'm going to drink a water here. Man, talking really makes me thirsty. Lifted the bad fecal taste left in the mouths by Zelda poo. No comment, Richard. No comment. Okay, so here we go. I remember this issue just from the cover. We have Metroid Galactic new Game Boy hit. Features include Super NES, ActRaiser, Super NES game ActRaiser, NES Batman Return to the Joker. You see, this is volume 31. This is December 1991. And you think it's a beautiful cover. Yes, it is. So you see her in her Varia suit, and I guess she's stepping on lava here with her blaster in the air. Pretty nice cover, right? I don't know what's going on with this area right here. Kind of a weird kind of pose. I don't think your body twists that. I don't think your legs twist that much to the side like that. We have that same... you could give the gift of Nintendo Power. You could order them a subscription and rip this off and give them this and say, hey, this is what you get. Get a subscription to Nintendo Power. And then their mailbox will explode with Nintendo Power come the Christmas. Love her design. Yeah, Samus' design is really good. Iconic at this point. Powerline. Metroid 2, The Return of Samus, leads off this month's Game Boy lineup, a fitting spot for a fantastic title that is even more complex than its classic NES predecessor. Fans have been screaming for another Metroid game, and they won't be disappointed. When they see the depths of this sequel, Samus Aran is more radical than ever. In other Game Boy news, the Master Higgins returns at Hudson's Adventure Island, and Ninja favorite Ryu Hayabusa shows off slick new in Ninja Gaiden Shadow. For the NES, Batman's back, and so is his naughty nemesis, the Joker. The joke is on him, though, when Batman puts his mind and might into shutting down his not-so-funny performance. Not for the faint of heart, Batman Return of the Joker is challenging to even seasoned players, and it's a must-play for Batman buffs. The sometimes creepy and always kooky Addams Family come to the NES this month, just in time to hook up with the new movie that stars Angelina Houston and Raul Julia as Morticia and Gomez. The Addams Family is, of course, based on the TV series from the 60s. It has been syndicated and shown widely ever since it went off the air, though, so it has gained fans that weren't even around when the series was running. In the NES adventure, Gomez has to find Morticia, who is being held somewhere in the spooky old mansion. It's a scream. There you go. Addams Family, loved them as a kid. I think I saw one of the movies. Maybe? I don't remember parts of it when it was playing on TV once. So this is volume number 31 for December 1991. And as you see, Samus Metroid 2 is the cover story for Game Boy. And you have, so 86, when did Metroid come out? 86, 87? This is like 4 or 5 years after the first game. First, you have ActRaiser. From stunning graphics and sound to action and simulation modes, ActRaiser has it all. Addams Family, Tiny Toons Adventures is pretty decent. Pilot Wings. Take off with the Pilot Wings Flight Club for a variety of aerial acrobatic events. Populous. And you have here the rest of it. Hopefully the letters are better this month. They weren't too good last month. Oh, sure, the Super NES is awesome, but if Yoshi's back, we ask you to tell what your ultimate game system would do. A lot of you wanted your dream systems to do your chores and homework, while others just wanted theirs to split out cold, hard cash. Here are some of the more interesting answers we've received. So these are kids' dreams for the ultimate video game system. So these should be a little bit funny. They don't have the themes anymore? Where's the best challenge? Well, hey, they missed that one. They missed the spelling error for sure with that challenge. Okay. So observant, Richard. Okay, if we only had 27 fingers, my fantasy game system would be a complex 512-bit system. It could display 27,876,992 colors at one time, and could play any game from any video game system that ever was or ever will be. There would be a miniature band inside that knew how to play any song. You could even buy a special chip that would allow you to make your own games for it. What games would come with the system? You ask? Super Mario Galaxy. Whoa. Super Mario Galaxy. It does say that. This kid said Super Mario Galaxy. Better known as Super Mario Bros. 24. The system would come with 6 27-buttons controllers and would cost $259.95. I would call it the Raw Power System. That's from Jimmy Peterford, Glen Cove, New York. So congrats for him for predicting the name of Super Mario Galaxy some 17 years later. 16-bit espresso. Being a Nintendo fan myself, and father of 2 young players, the kid protected Galaxy and emulation. What a legend, an absolute legend he is. Jimmy Peterford. Yeah. So would that really be Mario? That's not Mario 24 though. That would be Mario, Super Mario 1, 2, 3, World 64, Sunshine, Galaxy. That would be Mario 7 if you're counting by console games, minus Yoshi's Island, right? Being a Nintendo fan myself, and father of 2 young players, Ari and Trent, I jumped at the very chance to dream up my very own video game system. Of course, I would include all the great features of the NES and Super NES, like the sharp graphics and sound. I would also have plenty of fun games that families like ours could play together. The little ones do take a lot out of me, though, so the wildest game system in my imagination would be able to make espresso, balance my checkbook, pay the bills, figure out my taxes, remember my appointments, and do the laundry. Fix dinner and walk our dog, Cliffy. What do you think? Is that all too much to ask? If you get around to making this super system, could you send me one immediately? Please hurry. Steve Messner, Spokane, Washington. That kid is a time traveler. I wonder what this kid's doing. When this kid came out, when Super Mario Galaxy came out or got announced, he was like, whoa. I bet he was happy that he predicted that name. He's like, guys, I predicted the name of it. Look in this issue of Nintendo Power, issue 31, December 1991. My dream system would write my PhD thesis for me. Oh, sorry, Richard. Kid probably went back to the past when Nintendo didn't suck as bad. Yeah, I'm not too thrilled with Nintendo's decisions over the Switch lifetime. I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm getting older, but it seems like since Iwata died, they've been kind of going to more DLC stuff and phone stuff that pay to get stuff. I don't really care for that. And like releasing games and then adding content to them later, like Mario Tennis Aces and Kirby, that Kirby game, they added stuff to it. Well, I guess that's okay, but Mario Tennis Aces, I think they released it pretty lackluster, and then they added a whole bunch of stuff to it later. A most excellent system. It would be easy for me to decide what my ultimate game system would do. Travel through time? What could possibly be more amazing than warping back to ancient Rome and then jumping forward to see who's going to win the next Super Bowl? I even have a name for it, Bill and Ted's Most Triumphant Game System. Marion Rizzo, Lincroft, New Jersey. Perfectly agree. I feel like a lot of heart that made up their shortcomings back in the day isn't there anymore. Yeah, I think, well, I mean, I guess they have to change with times, and everybody else is doing that. I mean, it took them the longest to get onto that, but they are on it now. All bad things Nintendo started with the Wii. Yeah, the Wii wasn't my favorite system. There were good games on it that I liked. I like Twilight Princess, although I didn't play it on the Wii. I like Metroid Prime 3. I like Wario Land Shake. It was great. Kirby Return to Dreamland was fun. So there was good stuff. I just didn't. I don't know. The Wii was good. I don't hate it, but it's not my favorite NES. My favorite. I like the Wii U better than the Wii, to be honest with you. But does it do Windows? I'm glad you asked what my ultimate game system would do. I live on a dairy farm in Idaho, and I wake up every morning at 4 a.m. to milk the cows. I like my work, but getting up at 4 a.m. in the morning is not so much fun. My dream machine would take care of my morning milking chores so I could sleep until 6 or 7 after breakfast and coffee ready for me on the kitchen table, and it would be clear off the table and do the dishes when I was finished. Steve Shirley, Wendell, Idaho. And they respond, there wouldn't be much of a market for a cow milking, breakfast cooking, dishwashing video game system, Steve. Besides, your cows probably wouldn't respond very well. So here you have the art beat. I don't know if you can see them. Lots of Battletoads art. Can't quite see what that's a Dr. Mario art. A Star Tropics art with the parrot. And that looks like a dragon. That's a cool Dragon Warrior art. They have Erdrick, or Descendant of Erdrick, with they have a Scorpion, a Skeleton Knight. Wish you could see that. That's pretty cool. These kids just mailed it away. To me, the Wii was still good, but I can see it being the beginning of the decline, especially during the Wii U era. To be honest, I really dislike the Switch the most. Yeah, I mean, to me, the Switch is mostly just porting old games over to it. I mean, they ported lots of PC and indie stuff over, which is good, but the Nintendo output on it has not been stellar as it should be, I think. And I think part of that, I'm going to give them a pass for COVID. Battletoads versus Tmnt Who Wins? Oh, man. I'm going to say TMNT, just because I like TMNT better. But that's tough. I mean, the Battletoads can, like, warp, kick, and their shoe gets real big, or they can punch with that big fist. Well, plus there's 4 turtles, and there's only 3 toads, so I'm going to go turtles. No sibling rivalry here. Our 12-year-old daughter, Tracy, is a Nintendo fanatic. She is also a home honor student in her 7th grade class. Her time is often equally divided between Super Mario Bros. And math, or social studies. Although she's only 12, she is helping us raise her sister, Tiffany. They eat, sleep, and play together. I thought I'd seen it all until one day I overheard Tiffany shouting about her Nintendo victory. When I came into the room, I saw both girls playing. We are expecting another baby at any moment. I can just imagine the next year I will see 3 children reclining on the floor, playing our Nes. This picture says it all. And there they are playing with the big floor model TV. That's pretty cool. Oh yeah, that's what I mean. I'm saying I'm giving them a pass during COVID because, you know, developing games and stuff remotely, if they were doing that, is kind of tough. Yeah, they weren't good. I mean, the Switch era has not been their best output, that's for sure. Much like the NES era, like most third parties are picking up the slack for them. Indies and older games are picking up the slack for them. Because if you look at their output on Switch, Breath of the Wild, that was a Wii U game. Odyssey's good. It's not my favorite Mario game. Luigi's Mansion's good. What else do they have? Kirby game I haven't played. Mario Kart, which was a port of a Wii U game. They released a lot of Wii U ports, which I can see them doing because they wanted to get their money for development for that. What else new did they release? A Animal Crossing game, which is huge, so that's good. Link's Awakening remake. A Splatoon. But basically, Splatoon 2, I haven't played it, but I heard it's more of the same. What else on Switch? Oh, it's Pokemon Snap, which people have been wanting a new one of that, so that's good. There's a new Pokemon out. That was the first console Pokemon. Oh, they even admit, and you choose TMNT 2? Okay. Yeah, I think I would too, just because there's 4 of them. They even admitted they were not, even after it. They weren't affected by COVID? Oh, okay, then I don't know why. I think they don't have to do much. I mean, the Switch is selling so much even if they don't put out games, because tons of indie stuff's coming out for it. Link's Awakening was a full-price game with less content than the Game Boy Color version. It was laughable that they thought it was worth the price tag. I call it a scam. I wouldn't say it's a scam. I bought it, and I liked it a lot. But it just doesn't seem... Like, I don't know. Maybe this Nintendo Direct tomorrow, maybe they'll have a whole bunch of stuff in development they were working on. It just seems like their development hasn't been as... Even the Wii U era had more better games developed. The Wii U era, I thought, had better first-party games developed for the Nintendo than the Switch does right now. Pokemon 8 is easily the worst one, so who cares if it's the first console mainline game? Is it 8, the 8th one? Yeah, I don't know. I think Nintendo just... I think that I shouldn't... They're the last ones to get on this whole DLC microtransaction stuff, like with the release a game not quite finished and add stuff to it later, which I hate. I just wish companies would just release the game when it's finished, you know? I know you can't really do that because games are so big sometimes, but I would wait longer for a game when it's finished. Yeah, Pokemon 8 was the absolute worst. No excuse for that. I mean, I still like the Switch, but I'm not... I like my Wii U better than my Switch. I mean, just the games on it that were all ported to the Switch were great games. And if you don't have a Wii U, those games on the Switch are great. But if you had a Wii U, you know, we've been playing those for a long time, those who had a Wii U. And then people back then said, I'm not getting a Wii U, there's nothing for it. And then they go over to the Switch and you hear, oh, they should port all those great games from Wii U over. Well, which is it? That you didn't get it when they were on the Wii U, and now you want them on the Switch? So what's the... Okay. Anyway, I don't want to rant. Okay, so all sewn up. I don't have much spare time, but the 2 things I like to do most are making quilts and playing Tetris. I thought you might like to see a photo of the Tetris quilt I managed to put together. Between games, I wish all my Tetris games came together as well as this quilt did. Andre Morris, Amherst, Massachusetts. That's a pretty good quilt. Even if you don't like Tetris, that's a good quilt. What a great quilt. Those long winter nights playing Tetris. What a great quote for those long winter nights playing Tetris, Andrea. And Pokemon didn't suck for DLC reruns, even with all the DLC. Yeah, I have no comment on that. I never played Pokemon, so I can't really say. I mean, maybe for somebody who's never played Pokemon and they played that one, it might be good. That's the problem. They used to do that, but to make up for a lack of time in between in-games, so they made awesome spin-offs. Now they don't do that as much either. I mean, yeah, there's a Nintendo Direct tomorrow, so we'll see what they come out with. I'm hoping that Samus, this next Metroid game, is finished, and they don't just put it out and then add DLC to it. You know, hey, we're going to come up with a new map if you want to go through this map and get more powers and stuff. I want finished games. I don't want games released and then here we're going to add more characters, we're going to add more stuff to you. You know, put everything in the game. The Iceman Cometh. We thought you might enjoy the Mario Snowman we built last winter. Unfortunately, the next mooring brought rain and temperatures in the 50s, so no one got to appreciate our hard work. Ron Gregorski, Jeff Gregorski, and Janie Fossborough, Bowling Green, Ohio. And there's the picture. That's a pretty good snowman. They did a really good job. They really did well on the face. It really looks like Mario. Lego My Mario. After about 3 hours of playing Nintendo on a hot summer day, our mom kicked us off of it. We went upstairs and went to work. After 2.5 hours and a lot of Legos, we had a Lego Mario. Sean and Chad Williams, New London, Wisconsin. Pretty good. Pretty good. It's pretty cool. We have Batman Return the Joker. This is a good NES game. It looks amazing, sounds great. It has that good Sunsoft music to it. It's not too hard until you get to the Joker, and the Joker fight took me a long time to beat, and then it levels off in difficulty again. Because the last boss is the Joker, and he's not nearly as hard as the middle Joker boss the first time you fight him. So basically, you go through here and you have different weapons. The bomb one, or the one that explodes like a explosion, is the best one. I think it's a B weapon, the Batarang. Shield Star's not so great. Oh, the crossbow is the best one. It's like shoots out a fire weapon and explodes in directions. I think this was on a Genesis as well. I never played that version, though. I hope Link's Awakening doesn't set up a trend of minimum effort remaking a short Game Boy game into full-price short Switch game. I mean, they'll... I will take those, though, Richard. If they put a, like, there was a game, For Whom the Frog Tolls, in Japan. If they were to release that over here in that kind of style, I'd buy it. I mean, I'd still buy it, but I agree that I would like new games, like new Zelda games. They don't have to be as big and open as Breath of the Wild. Just make a new 2D Zelda or a side-scrolling Zelda. Make a new 2D Mario. You know, they don't have to be huge 3D events. Just make good 2D games again. The only, and I mean only thing I'm excited for is Red, because it's based off the canceled DS game. It seems to be made with actual love. Well, we'll see. I'm hoping it's good. I mean, I'm hoping there's no downloadable content or anything like that. I want a finished game that you put in and you're done. You buy and it's done, and it's a good experience, a good Metroid experience. That's all I'm asking for. Also didn't like that they killed the 3DS because the Switch is also portable. They could have coexisted. We now have games that belong to a 3DS solely expensive in the Switch, that belonged in a 3DS being sold expensively in the Switch, like Link's Awakening. Yeah, I enjoyed the 3DS as well. I don't think they wanted to do two concurrent systems that were handheld, so that's probably why they killed it off. I mean, when the Switch came out, they were saying, we're going to support the 3DS, and I think they supported it until 2019, was it? I want to say 2019, 2020 maybe even. Even then, it was, I think the last one was like, the last one I got was WarioWare Gold and Luigi's Mansion. And those were, WarioWare Gold is basically a greatest hits WarioWare game, and Luigi's Mansion is a remake of Luigi's Mansion. So it's not like they're new and exciting things. And the 3DS, they stopped supporting 3D. How dumb is that? I mean, 3DS, it's in, I mean, 3D was the best, one of the best features of the 3DS. And a lot of their games didn't even take advantage of it near the end, to give you the option to turn it off if you wanted, or on. Nestor's Adventure, The Simpsons, Battletoads, Two-Toed Tag, so I guess they're talking about switching off with lives, I guess? Not sure. Wampum, that's an okay game. Laser Invasion, I never played. The Last Ninja, I never played. Super Mario World, freeze and can't collect. Here's a trick for Super Mario World. You can earn coins and 1-ups at the lightning fast rate. If your timing is perfect, you'll need Yoshi to pull off the move. Plus, you'll need an item in your item box. It's different from the item you're wearing. Enter a course that you already have completed and ride up to the berry that is just above Yoshi's mouth. Then release the item by pressing the select button and have Yoshi jump so that he eats the berry and the item at exactly the same time. All of the action on the screen will freeze except for the coin and 1-ups total, which will mysteriously increase at a rapid rate. Every 100 coins will net you another 1-up after you've collected all the maximum of 99 1-ups. Press the start and select button to exit the course. So I had no idea you did that. You guys heard of that? I never heard of that. Here we go, ActRaiser. All the world's a stage, and you are the master. What has the action of the arcade game and the depths of a simulation, the graphics of a work of art, and the sound of the epic movie score? ActRaiser from Enix is the answer to this riddle. A game that has it all. You are the protector of a vast land that has been overrun by monsters. Into this world you will venture during the action sequences, which are called acts, hence ActRaiser. You'll battle evil in castles, caves, deserts, and even in the core of the planet. Once the Master Guardians are destroyed, the people begin to rebuild their civilization. They will need your help to protect them and give them direction. There are 2 battle acts of each 6 regions, and at the end you must face the ultimate test, Deathheim. While all the Guardians return, this review covers the acts of the first 4 regions. Later acts and the civilization simulation will leave up to you to explore. Action mode, side-scrolling action game, and in simulation mode, like a simple world building, like shoot-'em-up style of game. Act now, or you'll forever hide your face. You have North Wall. Here's a map. North Wall, Fillmore, Atios, Casanadora, Mariana, Bloodpool. The whole apple fills your out to the full. Half fills it a little bit. 1,000-point bonus, 500-point bonus. Projectile. Throw your sword at a blazing. Sword blades at the enemy for a long-range attack. Crush destroys all the enemies on the screen. Origin of Magic allows your magical spell to be cast at the enemy. Actually, that increases the amount of magic you can increase. Do 1 more spell cast with that 1-up. Act 1 Fillmore. Act 2 Fillmore. Act 1 Guardian is the Centaur and the Minotaur. Act 1 Bloodpool. Act 2 Bloodpool, you have the Manticore and the Zeppelin Wolf. Act 1 Casadora. Act 2 Casanadora. The, what's this thing called? The Dagobah. Dagobah. Like Dagobah? And the Pharaoh. Pharaoh, they call it. Act 1 Atios. Act 2 Atios, you have the Ancient Aquatic Dragon. And then you have, they do a little bit of the Mariana and Northwall Guardians. Yeah, and it's funny, it's a Star Wars product, and then they have like that sandworm that's in Jedi that eats the bounty hunter guy. They have like similar to that, and they call it Dagobah. That's weird. Crystallis, Super Mario World. Where's the secret exit from the cheese bridge? Star Tropics, what is the code to reach Chapter 5? Pilot Wings, how do I reach the rescue mission? So, Mike Robertson, here's our gameplay counselors this month. His hobbies are basketball and music. Best video game accomplishment, finished Narc with 3 men. Favorite game, wizardry. Gail Weiler, another female, writing poetry, AD&D, Advanced Dungeons & Dragons. Dragon models. That girl seems cool. Finished Super Mario Bros. 2 with 1 man. Favorite game, Final Fantasy. Josh Davis. Snowboarding, volleyball, music. Finnish Solstice in one man. Battle of Olympus is his favorite. Chad Lecken. Hobbies, skiing, comic collecting, water skiing. Best video game accomplishment. Finished Final Fantasy Legends in one day. His favorite game is Nobungo's Ambition. The Sarlacc. Sarlacc, that's right. The Sarlacc was found on Tatooine, not Dagobah. So they probably knew what they were doing then. They kind of threw a Star Wars reference boss with a Star Wars reference planet. Faria, how do I get through the Brow Tower? Whoa, that's a big map there for this NES game. Faria, I never played this game. Goonies 2, where do I find the diving suit? Goonies 2, where do I find the ladder? So it's funny that Goonies 2 is an early NES game. Like early. And they have tips for it now in 1991. What is a Brow Tower? I guess it's like an owl. I don't know. It's an odd name for a tower. Brow Tower? B-R-O-W-W. I don't know if this is the last tower. Here's in Faria many clearing hard tasks, but not hard. Difficult is clearing the 4 towers. The first tower, Gelv Tower, is covered in Counselor's Corner, Volume 26. Brow Tower is your second great test. So this is the second tower you got to clear of 4. I've never played Commander Keen. No. You know, it was an early PC platformer. Known for, I don't know if it had scrolling or not. I think that was famous. Was that Cliff Blazinski who did that? No, that was Jazz Jackrabbit. That was id. Was that Carmack who did that game? John Carmack. Here we go. The Addams Family for NES. MMC1 chip. Tiny Toon Adventures. It's an okay game. I wish you could switch on the fly like in Castlevania 3 by hitting the select button, but you pick a character you want at the beginning of the stage, and then you have to collect a ball, and then once you collect the ball, you switch to them, and to switch back, you have to collect another ball. So it's kind of cumbersome to do that. Not as convenient as I think it should be. The game gets hard near the end. There are stages where you have to outrun Elmira. Oh, this is a cool poster. Check out this Turtles. I had this poster hanging up. Turtles 3, The Manhattan Project. Coming soon from Konami for your NES, starring Leonardo, Donatello, Michelangelo, and Raphael. You see in the back here you have a map for Tiny Toon Adventures. Yeah, a side-scroller. I have great memories of it as a child. Commander Keen is the grandson of the Wolfenstein. Oh, he is? So it was id then. I was right? Yeah, I never played that. I didn't have a computer really much growing up. I had one, but it was a Tandy, and I was around, maybe I was in 5th grade, maybe? And I only played King's Quest IV on it. So my experience with PC games isn't too much. I do like that poster. If I hung posters up, I don't have really anything hanging up except like a few framed Super Mario Brothers pictures, like Super Mario 1 or Super Mario Brothers 3 and World I have hanging up. Special feature, we have Ninja Gaiden Shadow, Metroid 2, and Hudson's Adventure Island. Here we go, here it is. Metroid 2, Return of Samus. The bigger than ever follow-up to the one of the all-time NES classics, Metroid, has finally arrived. This massive adventure through the tunnels and ruins of the planet SR-388 is twice the size of the original game. It features even more high-tech weapons, an incredible array of evil aliens, and a battery backup to save your game progress. The Metroid universe has expanded, and it's out now, exclusively for Nintendo Game Boy. Samus Aran, helmet, infrared scope, Varia, normal suit, weapon hand, left hand, high jump boots, weight 90 kilograms, height 1 meter, 90 centimeters. Seems short, 1 meter? What it says. The menace multiplies. Love Samus. That sweet Metroid genocide, though. Killing, eradicating a whole species. The Galactic Federation has sent emergency orders to the space hunter Samus Aran. The Metroids of planet SR-388 are growing in numbers and strength. At their current rate of evolution, they'll pose a threat to all peaceful citizens of the galaxy in mere hours. It's up to you to take Samus through the dangers of each of the planets, searching for cybernetic power-ups and destroy the Metroids before they spread. Imagine if Dread begins with that last Metroid screen referencing from Super Metroid. Last Metroid screen from Super Metroid. I don't remember that. It should pick up from where Fusion was, because Fusion was the last one, right? Continue your quest. The game pack has a battery backup, which can hold the progress as many as 3 players. Touch a save point, then press start to record your accomplishment so that you can turn the game off and return later to that point. Hope there is no consequences for killing all these Metroids. Well, I think, in Fusion, correct me if I'm wrong, because you killed the Metroids, the X-Parasite ran wild, right? And then it infected Samus, and they had to save her by using Metroid DNA, because Metroids were the predator of the X-Parasites. Just imagine Dread begins and you have the text, the last Metroid sucks, so this one will try to be better. To be. Did you ever beat Other M, Richard? In Fusion, you destroyed the planet the X-Parasites lived on. Yeah, but I thought, because you wiped out all the Metroids in that the X-Parasites ran wild, and that was a problem, too. No explanation how they will be in Dread. I don't know. I just kind of want to play and then experience the game. Nintendo's really hyping up Dread, though, so I'm excited for it. Seek out cybernetics. Cybernetics power-ups are hidden in the dark tunnels and ancient ruins of SR-388. Find them, and Samus will become an even more powerful threat to the Metroids. She begins with 99 energy units and 30 missiles, high jump boots, screw attack, barrier suit, ice beam, bombs, space jump, spring ball, spider ball, wave beam, spazer beam, and plasma beam. As a freak of nature of gaming said, what could possibly go wrong? You're referring to Bubsy, right? I should give that game a chance. I never really played much of it. I think I have both of them. Would you like to see a Bubsy playthrough? Planet SR-388 contains a complicated series of tunnels, caves, and hidden passages. Explorers have found the remnants of an ancient civilization in many of the planet's darkest reaches. Search carefully and blast the walls, ceilings, and floors to uncover secret corridors. As you defeat the Metroids, earthquakes will occur, causing the deadly liquid in some areas to drain and open new passages. So you see right here, here's the map of it. Each area is color-coded, and when you beat the set number of Metroids, it'll lower the water area for the next area. Never understood why killing 40 Metroids terminated the species. There were Metroids in Talon 4 and Prime. How did they know there aren't Metroids? Yeah, because Prime took place between 2 and Super, right? If I recall. And you like Bubsy? Have you played Bubsy a lot growing up at all? It didn't seem like a bad game when I played it. I just didn't know how, it seemed hard, but that could be because I didn't really give it much time. Like, you die in one hit, but I think there's a way to play it that makes it, you kind of use your float a lot, so you don't just fly everywhere and run everywhere into things. Phase 1 touchdown. You'll touch down in a wide vertical cave that opens upward to the planet's surface. There's a single Metroid in the first small series of tunnels to the right. After you blast it, an earthquake will occur, opening up a passage more underground tunnels. Yeah, I liked it. Okay. Did you ever beat it? Phase 2 after the quake. So they're really going into it. Don't slip into the liquid. If you do, you'll sink quickly and lose energy at a lightning fast rate. This stuff disappears after the second quake. So there's Gamma Metroid, Omega Metroid, Zeta Metroid, and Queen Metroid. The leader of the Metroid's mutations is a powerful creature with the strong armor. You may not have enough missiles to destroy it. Samus Returns kind of implies that Chozo didn't make the Metroids to evolve. They were supposed to remain in larval stages. So how'd they evolve? They just evolved from just time? I know, as Samus Returns explains, that Chozo made the locks that when you killed the number of Metroids, it would unlock the area and allow you to progress deeper. The Spider Ball. You've only just scratched the surface. Ninja Gaiden Shadow, another great game. Game Boy is getting some really good games now. Last month was Final Fantasy Adventure. This month, Ninja Gaiden Shadow and Metroid 2. USA, 1985 AD. 3 years before the battles of the first Ninja Gaiden, Jaquio still sleeps, but the first stirrings of the forces of evil are heard. The minions of Jaquio descend upon New York in their first attempt at conquest. The city cowers in despair until a young ninja training the last of the Dragon Clan steps forward to meet the challenge. He is Ryu Hayabusa. His ninja training has yet to be put to the test, and he stands alone, but he is firm in his resolve that evil must not triumph. Fire Wheel, 1-up, large potion, and small potion. They evolved due to exposure to the special Aeon energy on that planet. So that's your Aeon powers, right? You get in Samus Returns that allow you to like scan and do other things. The charge from a meter, right? That is why Ketroids, I don't even know what Ketroids are. Also explains why the Metroids reproduce asexually as larvae and exposed to EBT. Right? You say we're supposed to be multiplied artificially. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. If the game's fun, that's all I care about. But when they evolved to the Queen Metroid, they could reproduce on their own. Oh. Look at that picture of Master Higgins. That's pretty funny. That is why they ran out of control and were contained within the purple... Oh, okay, so that explains why they sealed them up. The Chozo did. With the lock gates on them. How many times did you go through Metroid 2 the last time you played it last month, Richard? Did you go through it twice, or just once again? Or Samus Returns, not Metroid 2. Well, the same thing. Spanky's Quest, Castlevania 2, Belmont's Revenge. Hidden Rooms, 10 Fighters. Now playing for Game Boy Adventure Island, Bill Elliott's NASCAR. Fast Track, Metroid 2, The Return of Samus, Ninja Gaiden Shadow, Spanky's Quest, and World Series Circuit Series. So the highest rated game here is Metroid 2 Return of Samus, followed by Ninja Gaiden Shadow, and Adventure Island. So top 10, Super Mario Bros., TMNT, and Dr. Mario remain at the top 3. F1 Race, Final Fantasy Legend switch places, I think. Final Fantasy Legend was number 4 last time. Castlevania The Adventure, Operation C, Batman Sword of Hope, and Gargoyle's Quest at number 2. Gargoyle's Quest back on it. The crew of the Starship USS Enterprise is beaming down to a Game Boy near you in an adventure that is completely different from the recent Star Trek release for the NES. Includes action scenes in space and on planet surfaces. Gradius Interstellar Assault is another upcoming sci-fi thriller from Konami. This one is quite simpler in style to its Game Boy predecessor Nemesis, and on to the Gradius games available for the NES and Super NES. It will with exciting chases through a rocky area and continues through the alien ruins and another intriguing space setting. And Addams Family, now that they are movie stars and have their own NES game, and creepy, kooky Addams Family on their way to the Game Boy with an all-new adventure that emphasizes action and humor. And there's a screenshot of it. Super NES Showcase, the next generation of gaming. This is the 3rd month they're doing this. Here we have Pilot Wings, Mode 7 Showcase, Populous. These are games I don't have a lot of experience with, so I don't have much to say about them. I know I've seen Populous. You can get it dirt cheap when you buy it. It's like really cheap. Ultimate Design Contest. First prize. So these are the winners of, they design like covers for the Game Boy. First prize is this one. Also, that's John Whitwer of Ronan, Montana. John's design caught our coffee live eye with to the Super NES use perspective, which makes the elements of this Game Boy seem to leap out of the design. Begs for a hot action game to boost its energy further. First prize, Lee Duong Kigley of St. Lawrence, PA. It's a pretty good one. And Andre C. Bailey of Humble, Texas. That's a pretty good one. Runners-up, Chris Isbury of Dunstable, Massachusetts. LaFerna Walsh of Addison, Missouri. Michigan, not Missouri. Betsy Gruninger of Hales Corners, Wisconsin. Players Pulse Contest, Grand Prize Special FX Star Wars Extravaganza. Win a trip to Star Wars HQ, see how video games are made and play games under the development by LucasArts. See a special screening of Star Wars. Tour Industrial Light Magic to see how Star Wars effects were created. Tour the Star Wars archives. Wow, that's pretty cool. If you like Star Wars. 10 winners. A mask of Star Wars heroes or villain. A Star Wars game pack for your SNES. So you can get a mask of Darth Vader or a Stormtrooper. Third prize, a Nintendo Power jersey. You beat it twice. Seeing that Samus Return twice, normal, and hard mode. The Chozo General from Dread shows up there first. Oh, he is in Samus Returns. Blessed kids that still had good Star Wars movies. This was before the prequels. Before the dark times. Before the prequels. Tailspin, which is an NES game I like. I do like Tailspin a lot. What do they have to say about it? The high-flying bear, Baloo, takes off for an 8-stage journey in Capcom's adaptation of the animated Disney series Tailspin. As Baloo, you'll pilot the trusty Mini Sea Duck through one cargo delivery mission after another, taking on the forces of Don Carnage and his pirates. After each successful flight, you'll take to the Sea Duck into the shops and repairs to purchase special items such as rapid fire attachment or extra chances to continue. The amount of work that you can have done to your plane depends on how many cargo crates and bags of money you haul in during your flight. Since the mini Sea Duck is armed with only one gun, firing directions are limited. You can fire directly to the right and diagonally up and down, or you can flip the plane with the push of the A button and fire to the left side. It's impossible, though, to fire straight up or straight down, which makes for a challenging battle with enemies on the ground or at the top of the screen. Automatic scrolling also steps up the challenge of the game. You will often come across blocking obstacles that could crush you against the edge of the screen unless you move out of the way very quickly. Golf Grand Slam, I've heard of that. Kung Fu 2, which we never got. It did release in Japan, I think. Like as Spartan X 2 or something. I forget what it was called in Japan, but it did come out there, I think. We never got it, though. Home Alone, which I never played, so I don't know. Paperboy 2, I wasn't a big fan of Paperboy, so I never played the sequel. Bill Lambert's Combat Basketball. I think I got this game for $1 and I never played it. I don't know why. I don't really care for basketball. I don't know who Bill Lambert is. Your guide to the latest releases for NES, Addams Family, Barbie, Batman Return of the Joker, Golf Grand Slam, Irene Kung Fu 2, Tailspin, Tiny Toon Adventure, and Treasure Matcher. So they reviewed Kung Fu 2, but it never came out. Did they have a review copy? So the highest one here is Batman Return of Joker, followed by Tiny Toon Adventures, and then Tailspin, it looks like. NES Achievers, we have one person with a good score for a Styanax at over 9 million. Bigfoot, wow, that's a game we haven't seen. Finished Bigfoot, wow. Castle Quest, Conquest of the Crystal Palace, 2 people finished it. More people finished Deja Vu, 2. Or actually more. 6 people finished Deja Vu. Dick Tracy, 1 person finished it. Dr. Mario, lots of high scores. This guy's high score is 2,191,000. That's pretty impressive. Oh, that's Dorothy Summers from Miami Beach, Florida. Yo, yeah, Batman Return of the Joker I really like. It's a good Batman game. I agree. I never played any of the Arkham games, though. I was thinking today, funny you mentioned that, I was thinking I should run down to the game store and pick up a copy of Arkham Asylum for cheap. I'd actually like to play that one. Just the first one I'd like to play, because I heard it's pretty good. I think you can get it on 360 or PS3 for like $5. It's insanely cheap. G.I. Joe, 3 people beat that. Little Mermaid, about 4 people beat that. Power Blade, more kids are just crushing Power Blade. Revenge of the Gator, The Rocketeer, Skater Die 2, Search for Double Trouble, Totally Rad, good kid, finished that. Michael Wong and Tito Soranino, Ashland, Oregon. That's cool how they both submitted their names, so they both like tag teamed on it and finished it. And lots of people finished The Uninvited, and 1 good kid finished Wampum. And the kid who finished Wampum is Jason Erickstein in Belvedere, Illinois. Would that be great? Yeah, I thought about it. I think my 360 is HDMI, so I could stream that. I thought about playing Castlevania Lords of Shadow. Seriously. I would like to play Arkham Asylum sometime. I think Arkham City is amazing. So that's the second one, right? See, I don't want it to be too open-worldy, though. I heard the later Arkham games get too big. I don't want too big of a game. I heard Arkham Asylum is pretty manageable, though. Okay, top 30. Okay, red or new. Blue have been on forever. So, Super Mario Bros. 3, Tmnt 2D arcade game, and Final Fantasy are still 1, 2, 3, I think. Battletoads slipped from 3 to 4. Crystalis is hanging in the top 10. Dragon Warrior 2 is still hanging in there. Mega Man 3. The Simpsons, Barf vs. the Space Mutant is still up there. Tetris is still up around the same spot. Super Mario Bros. 2 made the top 10. Okay, Arkham City is not big. Only the ones that came... Okay, so I can pretty much stop after City then. If I like... if I like Asylum and City, those are the more manageable ones. Oh yeah, I do like DQ11. It's big, but it's not open world. It's pretty gated. The world is not so massive that you get lost. When I say open world, I mean like Grand Theft Auto or Breath of the Wild, like the stuff where it's just so daunting to get around, like everything's so huge. They're not my favorite type of games, like open world stuff. Where are we at? Legend of Zelda, Star Tropics, Dr. Mario, Tecmo Bowl, Dragon Warrior, Wizardry, Destiny of an Emperor, Mega Man 2, Monopoly, The Little Mermaid, Bases Loaded 2, Ultima Quest of the Avatar, Castlevania 3, Dracula's Curse, Zelda 2, The Adventure of Link. I knew it. As soon as I said, your timing is... Are you, like, waiting? How are you doing that so good with the freaking... I don't know how your timing is so good on that, Richard. As soon as I come to Zelda 2, I look up and that comment appears. I don't know how your timing is so good. Your timing is impeccable, my friend. Double Dragon 3, Double Dragon 2, Ninja Gaiden 2, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the original one from Ultra Games, and brand new, here we go, busting in top 30 at number 29, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3, The Manhattan Project. And Solstice at the top 30. I like open world games, but there is not... Hey, Rotil, welcome! Little Mermaid for the SNES is enjoyable. I liked Little Mermaid. I thought it was good as well. I like open world games, but if there is nothing to do in them... Yeah, I like them to a point. Like, the first one I played was Breath of the Wild, and I liked it a lot. But I tried to replay Breath of the Wild lately. I just couldn't replay it, because I knew there was really nothing there. Just weapons that would break. But I still liked exploring the world. I just wish there was more dungeons to find in that game. And here I'm going on Breath of the Wild, like how I want it to be not as big as it is, and more dungeons, more focused, more linear. But I want a game that's a little more... I like the feeling of exploring Hyrule, but I wish it was a little smaller and there was more stuff there. So I see what you're saying. If there's nothing to do in them, they're boring. Yeah, I could see. I agree with that. The Little Mermaid for NES was enjoyable. Yeah. I like I was saying, I like the Little Mermaid as well. And Richard played it too. How are you doing, Red Teal? Hey, Turtle! Welcome back, Turtle. How's school going? How'd you do on your Ender's Game report? Hope you did good. Battletoads. Yeah, Battletoads is number 4 here. Like, Fallout 4 is big and there's a lot to do in it. Okay. Yeah, I never played a Fallout. There is, was it you, Richard, who liked Fallout a lot? Or was that, might have been Manicho who liked Fallout. The weapon breaking system Breath of the Wild was not. Yeah, I didn't like that either. Actually, that's kind of sounds like a better Zelda game. Which does Fallout. School is getting easier than Naru. And I got a 90. Good. 91. Is that an A or a B? See, when I was going to school, a 91 was a B. A 92 or 3 was an A. I don't know how they're grading there. So congratulations. Never played Fallout. It was Manicha. Okay. My mistake then. I know it was Manicha then. We got in a discussion about Fallout once. Borderline A. Well, that's good. Good job. Good job. So that is the top 30. And not much difference from last month. We have one new game, TMNT 3, the Manhattan Project. Super Mario Bros. 3, it's pretty much always going to be number 1 or 2 till the end of time. They stopped doing this for NES. Mayim Bialik. You know her from the TV show Blossom. She's also on Big Bang Theory as Sheldon's girlfriend or something. She's like a smart person there. So apparently she plays games. Monopoly NES, but I thought NES had only 2 controllers. Oh, you could play up to 5 people, but you just pass the controller around, Turtle. So I'd roll the dice, do what I have to do, then I'd pass it to my mom, pass it to my sister. She passed it to my sister. So you could play up to 5 people. They each didn't have their controller. You just used up to 2 controllers, and you passed them around, I think. Next time I catch you defending Zelda Poo, I will call you a Zelda a Poo. Oh, that's a monster-worthy pun. Nice. Monster-worthy pun. I wonder how Monster's doing. The Simpsons Barf vs. the World. I've never played this one. I think I mentioned I did not care for the first Simpsons game. So I probably never even tried this one. I don't know if it's any better. I don't think it is. Rampart. I've never played Rampart. I don't know if you guys ever played. If you have experience with these games, let me know. I've never played these 2. Mega Man 4 I do like, and then it was Ninja who was just talking about Mega Man 4 when we saw it earlier. I think this is a fantastic Mega Man game. The Hippo guy, I remember that. You shoot him and he drops, and then these will rebuild. Is it you or does everyone else hate sharing controller? I feel like attached to it and getting generally angry when someone else uses it. Sharing controllers. I don't really have anybody to share with, but when I was a kid, I didn't really mind it. When I went to a friend's house, because it was mostly when I played games multiplayer was at a friend's house, so I didn't really mind it because I was using their controllers. But now I wouldn't mind doing it just to play with somebody else. But I think in those type of games, a lot of 2-player games, you use the same controller, you just passed it back and forth. I think, like Monopoly, like I said, the game show games, you could use one controller and pass it back and forth. So if you don't like doing that, then you probably wouldn't like that. And Richard, you're an only child that had a hard time sharing anything. We didn't have to share anything. Monster in My Pockets. This is a fun game. I had a lot of the toys growing up, Monster in My Pocket. They were little, almost like plastic, rubbery figures about maybe this big. I had a ton of them I kept in a red lunchbox, and then I gave it to my nephew, all the Monster in My Pockets to him. So, Super Nintendo pre-development dispatch. We have Super Off-Road and Smash TV. These are coming up. My friend had Super Off-Road for the NES. He liked that. His dad used to play that with him. Pokemon. What about Pokemon? Did we hear Pokemon? Pokemon won't be around for another 7 years. We're still in a, as Richard would say, the poor kids in their Pokemon-less world. We are still a few years off from Pokemon. We're still in 1991, Turtle. The Super Connection, Nintendo's newest arcade machine, the Nintendo Super System, was unveiled earlier this year at the annual Coin-Op show. The new unit features hit games like Super Tennis, F-Zero, and Super Mario World that are also available for the Super NES. Instead of buying time in games like Super Mario World, the Super System allows you to buy extra lives so you can continue with tokens or quarters. We don't pretend to be able to read the future here at PackWatch, but from time to time we get them an enticing glimpse of things to come. One game out in 1992 is leering the way towards the virtual reality with digitized graphics. Super Battle Tank from Absolute features graphics that are reproductions of actual photos that have been taken down into digital bits. In digital form, the photos can be reprogrammed into the game. The game itself, based on the Persian Gulf conflict, and looks so real that you'll wonder if it's Super NES or CNN. The raddest, baddest mutant rumor is that the Turtles from Konami will be back in 1992, both the NES and Super NES. For those of you with a taste for music rather than pizza, check out the Super NES version of the Software Toolworks Miracle Keyboard, pictured with enhanced sound and digitized graphics. Sad Pokemon Westworld. That's what it was, Richard. Thank you. The monsters in my pocket. Oh, okay. Sorry, I didn't make that connection. No, they were completely different. This was before Pokemon. They were just like Frankenstein, Wolfman, a sea monster, lots of fictional monsters that were just tiny. That's why they called them monsters in my pocket. Yeah, I should have picked on what you were saying there. So this is what you had before Pokemon, monsters in my pocket. And they were a toy before the Konami game. The Konami game's pretty fun. It's 2-player co-op, too, if you have a friend. Which, I never played a 2-player. NES Planner, coming soon. So they have TMNT 3, the Manhattan Project here, but it's already out in the polls. So it's probably out somewhere in the US or in the United States. Coming soon, Super NES, you have Castlevania 4, Joe and Mac. They got rid of the Caveman Ninja because it was just Joe and Mac then. Lemmings, Nolan Ryan's Baseball, PGA Tour, RPM Racing. This is Blizzard Entertainment made RPM Racing. They followed it up with Rock and Roll Racing. Smash TV, Super Battle Tank, Super Off-Road, Super Play Action Football, TMNT 4, or Turtles in Time, and Wanderers from Ys 3. This is with Ys 3, Wanderers from Ys. These are Super Nintendo games coming soon. And you saw they were also saying there's a Super Nintendo Turtles game coming in too. That's a rumor in 1992. New and improved coming in January. Beginning next month, we're adding regular comics that feature your favorite Nintendo characters. Every issue will be 16 pages longer than before. NES, Super NES, and Game Boy departments will be color-coded and easier to find. The top 20 of each system will be listed, a new feature that replaces top 30. Oh, so the new changes are coming in next month, guys. So next issue number 32, there's going to be a little comics and a little bit change to the way they review stuff and list top games and stuff like that. Blockbuster. No matter which system you have, you can count on complete coverage of the best games. Next month's Powerhouse issue reviews the latest and greatest to each system. Then in a special preview, take a look at an eagerly awaited sequel, The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past. So NES next month, Mega Man Hero. The Mega Man Hero Mega Man returns in a huge 4-megabit adventure to fight a vile new villain, Dr. C, or Dr. Cossack. We preview, for Super NES, these are 2 games we're previewing, we previewed Castlevania 4 in September. Now we go back to the beginning with the Belmonts in a complete review next month. Ooh, this will be good. A Link to the Past. Find out what skeletons are hiding in Link's closet next month in a special preview. Pizza Time. The Turtles have sanitized the city sewers and are reappear on the streets in their most exciting adventure yet. So we'll see some comics. We'll see some different. We'll see Link to the Past preview, a big first preview of it. for more than a screenshot or so, or a blurb, and we'll see a full review of Castlevania 4. So that should be interesting. Do you buy that arcade thing? If so, what scam? Imagine paying to pay for a game that won't save. Yeah, apparently from what I was reading, I never even heard of that before, Turtle. Apparently to buy lives, you have to put quarters in, which is kind of weird. I've never even seen one of those. Where was that at? The Nintendo's newest arcade machine, the Nintendo Super System. Oh, okay, it has the controllers, this big, large Super Nintendo controllers. I may have seen it. I remember seeing those large Nintendo controllers, but that's pretty cool looking. I don't think I went to the Galloping Ghost Arcade in Chicago. It's like one of the biggest in America, and I did not see that there. And maybe I didn't look hard enough. Every issue will be longer than before. Must be an encyclopedia nowadays. Doesn't look like A Link to the Past. Which era is that? Let's see. Which area is that? That is... I think that is... I don't know what that... I thought that was around like Zora, but it could be near the southern swamp too, but it doesn't quite look... You're right, it doesn't look quite like that. And you thank me for more opportunities to roast Zelda 2. You really have any time, Richard, any time. Your timing on your Zelda 2 roasts are impeccable. Like, as soon as I get the Zelda 2 in the top 10, a comment pops up with the Zelda 2 insult. It's amazing. Well, I think that's it for me tonight, guys. Thanks for stopping by. Sorry to cut it for Turtle, and I think Rotil stopped in late. I'm sorry to cut out on this. I got through 2, so issue 31, and 30 and 31 I got through. So that's good. We got to see Metroid 2. We got to see Final Fantasy 4. And we're get to see the first bigger preview of Link to the Past, and we'll get to see a review of Castlevania 4 next month. That's good. And your favorite cover so far? Yeah. Have a good night, everybody. Thanks for Rotil. I will take it easy, get some good sleep. And everybody, thanks again for stopping by and saying hey. And I will catch you again soon. Take care.